Calgary Flames head coach Ryan Huska has finalized his coaching staff for the 2024-25 NHL regular season, as he has filled the void that Marc Savard left behind at the helm of the power play. And honestly, the Flames have made a bit of a sneaky good signing here after they hired a coach that has a bit of a sneaky good resume, and it hopefully will turn things around for the Calgary Flames power play that has been abysmal over the past couple of seasons. But before we get into that, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I am Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And I quickly wanted to say thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. I can't believe how fast we hit it. I couldn't thank you guys more. I love each and every single one of you with my entire heart. Thank you so much for making this such a blast and building such a good community. But let's get into how the Flames hire Brad Larsen. And if you recognize that name, it is because he has been around the NHL for quite a few years now. He was not a head coach last year, but the two previous seasons, he was at the helm of one of these franchises. And I know what everyone's thinking before we get into this. What? Some legitimate Calgary Flames news? They actually did something? It's not just talking about trade rumors, free agency rumors. I know, there's actually something legit to talk about here. Everyone's excited about it, but just be warned that probably tomorrow's video and the foreseeable future will be right back to speculation and rumors. But let's get into Brad here. So, this is a tweet from Eric Francis yesterday. He said, well, when I screenshotted it, it was 1 minute after he tweeted it. But anyway, this is yesterday. Flames hire Brad Larsen as assistant coach, replacing the departed Marc Savard. Larsen joins the Flames coaching staff following 9 seasons behind the bench with the Columbus Blue Jackets, the most recent 2 as head coach in the 2021-22 and 2022-23 seasons. So, recently, he has been a head coach, and once we get into his record and kind of thing, a lot of people might be a little bit skeptical, but no matter what, having your coaching staff full of people who have been around the NHL, and not just around the NHL, but also had the experience of being a head coach, because let's face it, that's very, very valuable experience right there, to be kind of at the face of all of the issues. It's very, very important, and to have him as an assistant coach, to have Larsen, could be really, really good. So let's get into his coaching profile here. I can't quite remember where this is from. I think it's from the win column. Credit to them. But Larsen, who played nearly 300 games in the NHL, joins the Flames organization after a long tenure with the Columbus Blue Jackets organization. He started his coaching career with the Springfield Falcons of the AHL, working for 2 seasons as an assistant coach before becoming their head coach for 2 additional seasons. So he's got a bit of a resume going here, as I did say before. And like I said, it's so valuable to have that NHL experience, especially at the head coaching level. And I'm sorry that I keep looking down. I'm trying to get these graphics right for once. But let's see here if I can hit the right thing right now. Odds are he will fill the void left by Savard by running the power play. Yes, we can expect Larsen to be the new power play coach and hopefully turn things around. He joins the likes of Dan Lambert and Cale McLean to round out the assistant coaches under Huska, in addition to goalie coach Jason LaBarbera, video coach Jamie Pringle, and video coordinator Andrew Doughty, or Doughty. I apologize if you're watching this video and I totally butchered your name. But either way, the coaching staff is complete. We know exactly what we have going into next season in terms of coaching and management, of course. We don't know what we have for players because we don't know what we're going to draft. We don't know who's still going to be here, got traded away. Don't know who we're going to sign. But of course, we will know in the coming months. But either way, it's kind of exciting. It's exciting knowing that there's no voids left to be filled in the coaching staff. And hopefully they can start working some schemes sooner rather than later and get something going ASAP. We know the Flames might not be the best team next season, but to at least implement some good coaching styles, some good regimens, really getting the chemistry working up between the coaching and the management, the coaching and the players, and the coaches themselves is vital to a successful organization, and hopefully that will be the case for the Calgary Flames here. But let's get into his coaching style specifically because, a lot of people might not actually know who this guy fully is. which is a little bit interesting. But either way, he's a very, very good guy. And we will see here that Larsen, who made his living while playing pro hockey as a grinder, struggled to establish an identity the way that successful coaches seem to do. Was he a player's coach that inspired his troops to great heights? Was he elite at developing young talent? Was he a superb tactical mind that could remedy a power play or stymie an opposing team's breakout with a suffocating neutral zone forecheck? Unable to differentiate himself as anything other than a seemingly genuinely good guy with a work ethic, Larsen became an easy scapegoat for a bad and battered Blue Jackets team. So that's kind of a description of why he got fired from the Blue Jackets, and that he doesn't necessarily have, one legitimate coaching style. But one thing I will reveal is that he kind of comes under the tree of John Tortorella. And I know that's an automatic turnoff for a lot of us. We all remember 04 and it's John Tortorella. You don't really have to say all that more. And his coaching style is very interesting, but it seems as though Larsen's is different than Tortorella's, even though he's a branch off of that Torts tree. So it's interesting to see that when it comes to how he played as a player, Brad Larsen is pretty much the exact opposite of Marc Savard. Marc Savard was a smaller, skilled guy, had some very good seasons back in the day. Unfortunately, concussions and injuries ended that. And then Brad Larsen, more so, just a pure grinder. Does he coach the way he played? Not necessarily, and we've seen that in the past with other coaches. You look at Wayne Gretzky. Remember how good of a coach he was for the Coyotes? That had to be some sort of betting scandal. But either way, we don't need to, get into some conspiracy theories here on the channel. But either way, it's interesting to see that his coaching style hasn't quite been established, but maybe he can do something really good here in Calgary. If he's more of an offensive-minded kind of guy, even though if he didn't play that way, it'll be very interesting to see how he runs the power play. And it is not yet fully confirmed that he will be running the power play, but you'd assume since Marc Savard is the only guy who left that he is the replacement. But either way, the coaching style is very, very interesting. And the last thing we'll look at here is kind of just his record over his NHL career, or his NHL coaching career. And this was kind of useless because it didn't show the records of the times when he was an assistant. But I'll tell you right now that back about a decade ago in the AHL, he had some very good seasons. Wasn't able to move too far into the AHL playoffs, which is too bad, but it got him the chance to coach in the NHL. Now, as an assistant, again, it doesn't show the records. Thank you so much for this screenshot, Mark. It's so valuable. Well, what I will say is the Blue Jackets actually weren't bad in a lot of these seasons. We can all think back to the 2019 Blue Jackets that somehow swept the Tampa Bay Lightning, the record-breaking President's Trophy team, and the lowly Blue Jackets somehow blew them away. And he was on some really successful Blue Jackets team, and you can give him some of the credit for that. Most of the credit, of course, goes to the players, and then the head coach, and then the general manager, and then the assistant coaches get their time in the spotlight. But his time as a head coach, not exactly fantastic. The Blue Jackets weren't good those years. He wasn't able to make the playoffs either of those seasons and did not have a good win percentage. If you combine those two that you can see down there, it is near the low 400s. So not exactly amazing, but he's not at the helm of the entire organization here right now. He's not the head coach. The fact that he does have this experience is enlightening. Is he going to make a huge difference? We'll have to see how the power play goes. The power play was starting to click sort of towards the end of the season. Hopefully Larsen can implement something really, really good as the next year begins. And hopefully the Flames power play will be good and they'll still be exciting to watch even if they're losing a lot of games. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, everyone's favorite part of the day. And this one, of course, had to go with some Jacob Markstrom trade rumors because that's all we've been talking about on the channel as of late. But I like this comment here from Mr. Deflipard or Deflipard? I don't know. However you want to say it. It seems pretty, I would think Mr. Deflipard. But anyway, 2 years left on the deal means 2 good assets. Any trade that is less than 2 first-round picks or a blue chip prospect is a fail. And I have never really said it that way, but it's true. The fact that Markstrom does have term and it's pretty reasonable does mean that since there are 2 years left, you should get 2 prospects out of it, 1 for each year. I completely agree with you there. I haven't even thought about it that way, let alone said it on the channel, but I really, really did like that comment, and I want to know if you guys agree down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you like what you saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.